Okay, we are live. Sorry, looking at the wrong button. Still learning. We'll figure this out. I'll probably just babble for the first 5 seconds when I hit record or start streaming from now on, just to save me all the trouble. But welcome. Sorry. Start at the beginning. Have to start where you start. And welcome to stream. Sorry, I'm still checking the chat window and making sure everything's working. My little green flashy light. It's going from red to yellow, so one day we're going to learn what that means. Welcome back. 3 in a row. We are just streaming fiends now. Now it's a habit, so hopefully we'll keep doing it. Thanks for joining us again. Glad to be doing this. And let's see, we'll just what should we jump into here? Oh, upcoming stuff. We will do that because Infinity War starts this weekend. So, yeah. Marvel Universe has been looking forward to this since the end of the first Avengers movie, because that's when they introduced Thanos, for those of you who didn't see a movie in 2012. That was the only thing going on, was the big reveal, and someone actually came up to me after the movie and asked, who was that? Because I was the only person in the theater going, woo! When he came on screen. So, yeah. If that was you, ma'am, I hope I helped. If not, you know, it was Thanos, and it was actually the comic book Thanos that Joss Whedon put in, not the odd, weird armored kind of plate with fancy boots, and now I'm wearing a tank top Thanos that we have. But whatever. It was the Jim Starlin, Ron Lim version of Thanos with the big shield on and the original helmet, and it was going to be an awesome Thanos. If you look at his face, it was actually purple, a consistent purple, and it just looked like Thanos. I was really excited for that, and the more I saw of him, the less excited I got. But it is upon us. It will be here in 2 days. Well, midnight, or sorry, 11:59 on Thursday night. Some theaters are showing it. But yeah, Infinity War is a coming. We're gonna see probably Soul Gem, last Infinity. What are they calling them? Stones.
Yeah, something.
Infinity Stones. I don't know. We're gonna see the last one in Adam Warlock. He'll probably make his appearance either late in the movie or maybe an end credit reveal.
He might be end credit and save for the next, honestly.
Yeah, but all the teaser trailers they saw. I think it was 4, maybe 5 gems on Thanos' gauntlet in one of the trailers. The side square everyone saw on YouTube was cut off at the hand, but the long version I saw in one of the trailer where they break down everything, preview things. You get the long one that they released, I think, for Twitter followers. You got to see his gauntlet, and he does have more than just I think 2 gems, as always saw in the last trailers. So he's gonna get most, if not all of them, in this movie, and then they're gonna have to deal with that probably in the next. They'll have to deal with it. Oh, Jenny Bug, what's up? Yeah, you haven't been here in a while. Welcome in. That's Jenny is one of the reasons that we stream at 6. Oh, this is Val. Sorry, my Valiant. You haven't met. I have fans on different coasts and different time zones, so I try to pick one a little in the middle. It's after work for everybody, but well, except Hawaii. Sorry, that's a 9-hour span. We can't cover all that. But it's after work on the West Coast and before bed on the East Coast, so it's hopefully a little more convenient to stream in here. But welcome in, Jenny. Glad you're watching. And hope you enjoy the stream. It should be a regular thing, so keep following us, and we'll keep giving you stuff. But you going to see Infinity War? Because that's all I've had time to talk about so far. Anyway, so they had the trailer had I think that was the latest one. Showed more of the gauntlet, and he was walking through a portal, and the was glowing. So apparently that's how they're gonna show which stone he's using. Is they're gonna have it glow when he activates it. It's kind of cool. They might have done that in the comics. I don't know. For those of you who don't know or haven't watched my streams before and haven't talked comics with me, Infinity Gauntlet #4 was my very first comic book. That was the first one I went to the store and purchased for myself to read because of George Perez's cover. Because as I was spinning the little carousel thingy, this is back in the day when liquor stores had magazine racks. It wasn't even like a gas station. It was the same principle like the Quickie Mart in Simpsons. It's just a store like the AM/PMs and all the 7-Elevens and just a little Quickie Mart. And it had the little spinning rack of comics, so all you got were your 4 or 5 rows of comics, and that's all they stocked. So I spun that around a few times. I was looking for a Swamp Thing comic, actually, and that one caught my eye because it didn't have Swamp Thing, so I picked that one up, and it still has my sweaty little handprints on it from walking it back home, holding onto the cover. So it's in no proper condition that any comic nerd would tell you to keep it in, but I still have it. It's sitting in my box, signed by Jim Starlin and Ron Lim. But that was my very first comic, so Infinity War is near and dear to my heart because it's was going to be, again, back to Joss Whedon, was going to be the retelling of Infinity Gauntlet. And actually his was setting up the first, what do they call it? I think they call it Thanos War. They did a Thanos War or Infinity War? No, it wasn't Infinity War because that was the comic. I think it was the first Thanos War. And that started with the Cosmic Cube, which is what the Tesseract was. Originally, it was just the Cosmic Cube. Huge source of infinite cosmic power. And they let Whedon go after the second Avengers, so that all fell apart. And here we are. So, whatever. It's producers getting in the way of directors, getting in the way of writers, and I don't know. The movie's coming out. We're all going to see it because, like it or not, I mean, you're in it this far. You've been following along since 2008. The Marvel movies have dominated the box office for 10 years now. So we're in it. I mean, this is a part of pop culture, for a generation now. I mean, this has been half of the latest generation's life. I mean, if you're 20, guess what? The last 10 years of your life, you've been watching Marvel movies. Think about that. That's crazy. So, yeah, Infinity War is going to be probably the end of this arc. I know we're losing a lot of the actors because they've been doing this, like I said, for almost 10 years. Robert Downey Jr. is one's been doing it for the full decade, but they've been in it. I mean, there's for a long time. I forgot which one came out next, but yeah, I mean, Chris Hemsworth, Chris Evans, they were all part of Phase 1, and it's been going on for a while. And like I said, Chris Evans is going to be one of the actors that's leaving after the second Infinity War movie, or whatever, the Untitled, because it was going to be Infinity War 1 and 2, and now they've changed the title to something mysterious. But whatever, it's going to be Avengers 5? Wow. We got 4? This is going to be 3?
I think so.
I lost track now. Oh yeah, because I confuse Captain America, because what was it? The latest one. See, losing my mind. It doesn't hurt, folks. So I'm scared. Civil War is. I mean, that reunited the Avengers, so it's essentially an Avengers movies. But yeah, we've only had 2 Avengers movies. Okay. And then this is going to be the 3rd one, and then should culminate in the 4th. That'll be the big, resolution to all of the Infinity Gems being together, Infinity Stones, Infinity, I don't know, whatever the hell they thought it wasn't good enough to listen to the original writer about. Sorry, bitter. Jim Starlin, like I said, wrote my first comic book, so, and that is his baby, and he didn't create Adam Warlock, but he took over the main writing for him, and he's kind of the hero versus Thanos for a long time, him and Captain Marvel, of course. But if you saw Thanos, Warlock was gonna show up eventually. It's just what happened, and Warlock had the only Infinity Gem for a while. That's why they're called Soul Gems originally, is because the one on his head was the Soul Gem, is the Soul Gem. So they were his, and then they decided to make 6 of them and give them to the Eternals, and it's a long story. You should all read it. It is very, very good. It's, I don't want to say Starlin's best work, but it's, in my opinion, it's the best thing Starlin's written. It's really, really good. So yeah, check out Infinity Gauntlet if you haven't already. It's available everywhere now, ever since, like I said, ever since the first Avengers movie. They've been stocking up on it, and yeah, it's popular. But it's a really good story, and I hope they do it justice in the movie. They're throwing in a lot of stuff from the other writers of Thanos, which I don't like, because Thanos worships death. That's why he smiled at the end of the first Avengers to pursue them, or to something them, is to court death. That's why he smiled, is because he does court death. Literally, the personification of death is the woman he does desire, and he courts her. He does try to woo her. He loves death, the person. Killing is tertiary. He loves Mistress Death, so he wants to make her happy, so he does kill. It's not that he enjoys killing, he likes making her happy. So, yeah, he courts death. The new writers have spun off a series about Thanos having children, and it's confusing. Yeah, I might need one of those. Speaking of beverages up, folks, it's after work. You don't have any more responsibility tonight. Go ahead, crack one open, sit down, relax, have a drink with us. It's okay. But anyway, the story arc, I picked up one issue because it lured me in, because it had Ron Lim's, drawing of Thanos, which is my favorite. I love you so much. Cheers. It had Thanos on the cover. It was Ron Lim's Thanos, and it said Starlin on the cover. So hell yeah, I'm picking that up. That's my two favorite. That's my favorite team. And it turns out it's just a retelling. I think it was a 3-story issue, and it had a retelling of a side story for Infinity Gauntlet, like a prequel thing, in the back. But the main story was forgettable at best, but it introduced someone else's take on Thanos having children. If you actively court death, you don't create life. It's just, hold on. Oh, that's better. Anyway, it's just counterintuitive to have a character that loves death, to have so many children, and to, I don't know. Anyway, they just wanted to introduce a new character and write a Thanos story because he was popular, so they let someone else write it, and that happened. So that's where we're getting the Black Order, I believe they're called. His minion generals, that, again, if he had those, he would have used them instead of Loki and, oh god, who's the Kree destroyer? Damn it. But yeah, he wouldn't have sent someone else to pick up the Infinity Gems. He would have sent his generals if he had them. And so that's how you know it's a new addition for the movies, is because where were they? If they're that important, if they're that powerful, if they could get the job done, he would have just used them. And again, he said, I'll do it myself. After he's going to get the gems, but he's sending his generals to get the gems. So they had no idea what they were doing, and it's frustrating. But that does roll quite neatly into a question that I thought of, I think yesterday or the day before. Yes, because I just finished Ruby. Those of you who are not following RWBY from Rooster Teeth, the first 4 seasons are just great. A fun little story. Started out as just Madion showing off what he could do with mocap, which, if you can watch anything he's ever done, do it. You will be awed by what he can do with animation. It's incredible. They call him the John Woo of mocap. He's just huge action scenes. Even the horrible budget they gave him for season 1, so please forgive the animation. He's doing the best he could. But even with that budget, the scenes were incredible. He just, all the money went into the fight scenes, and then they just kind of told the story behind it. But the animation was bad for that because they blew the budget on the scenes because he wanted to make a great action series, and it was. But as I finished the 5th season, everything just wrapped up too quickly, and then I noticed that happens a lot. That's been happening in so many series. We watched the latest Jessica Jones, season 2 of that, and a lot of the Marvels, because I don't watch too many things, but a lot of series don't have a story. They start off and they introduce some things and they set up what should be a story, and then it kind of trails off. They either just flat out drop a storyline, either they kill the character or they just forget that it happened, that they wrote this little thing in the background that everyone noticed and was really excited about, and it just goes away, or they just, say, oh, we don't have time to write that, and they kill the character, and okay, that storyline's done. And then there's these long gaps of nothing happening. I mean, just nothing. They don't even talk. They just kind of wander through, your 22 or 45-minute scenes for their episode, and they do that for like 3 or 4 episodes in a row. And then they kind of start something new, and then they realize the series is almost over, and they wrap everything up really quick and very, very loosely. So it's nothing's done, nothing's complete. And what was the other one? Iron Fist was very much like that. They had like 5 different chances in the first 2 episodes to make Danny Rand really awesome, and they pursued none of those storylines, and he kept changing. They didn't finish his character, and it left everyone confused and angry because they wanted to like it. I mean, it was another Marvel series. We were all excited. They were kicking ass. I mean, Daredevil was incredible. Jessica Jones season 1 was incredible. They introduced so many great characters. We wanted to see more. We wanted to like it. Excuse me. And it fell off. It just dropped flat. And so I wanted to put it to you guys, does anyone know what happens in the writing room when this happens? And is it a trend? I mean, are they giving it to different writers and just saying, here, we need 3 episodes, go ahead, and not giving them anything else? Or how do you start off strong, or how do you have a story? Like all comic characters, there are years of history on this character that you could explore. I mean, there are storylines and arcs and a host of characters and villains and side characters, and just they're monthly. I mean, nearly all comics are monthly releases, so if it's been out for a year, there's at least 12 stories going on. But I mean, all comic movies come out several years after the release of the characters, sometimes decades. I mean, 78 was the first Superman movie. He came out in the 30s, 38, I think. So yeah, 40 years later, that's a lot of stories. So you have this history to call upon, and a fan base built in, because comic books, someone was reading them, that's why they're still on the shelves. How do you have a story, have a potential, have not a raw thing? Because writing is hard. Ask any writer, it is difficult to invent a character, to give them conflict, and to take a story and carry that story through and hold people's interest. It is not easy. But if you already have the core of it, if you have villains and conflict and heroes and character concept basically established already, how do you not know where you're going? I mean, what happens in the storylines? I'm gonna pick up here on some of the chat. There we go. You got 2 mods now. Yeah. Anyway. So Jenny Bug. I'm doing good, Jenny. Sorry. Just jumping back in the chat. I was doing a little rant on comic movies and being disappointed in general in modern writing. It's recent. It hasn't been going on very long, but it's very recent and widespread. It's not, pardon me, an isolated thing. It's been several movies and several series. I mean, yeah, movies do it too. I forgot which one. Oh God, what did we see? Oh, well, DC's stellar at this. What was it? Batman v Superman, which was originally Batman versus Superman, and then it became Batman v Superman, then Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, and they didn't know what movie they were making until they released it. And even then, they released a director's cut the same day, just because they didn't know what the hell they were doing. And what the hell? I mean, why would you do that to your fans? I mean, Batman and Superman, both of them, decades old. I mean, Batman just had a 75th anniversary not too long ago. Superman just released its 1000th issue of Action Comics in stores now. Please pick it up. It's a book. I mean, it's several stories, and the final story is the new writer for Superman who's going to be taking over. It's his introduction of where he's going to be taking the storyline. So, again, 1,000 issues of Action Comics have been going on. What's happening? I mean, you have all these. Oh wow, your son's 1 year old. Good job. Congrats to him. Hope he's watching and he enjoys the motion and colors, because there's not much else they can pick up on. But enjoy the stream. Keep him nerdy. Raise him right. Show him all the good fun stuff. Aw. Sorry, Katie. I keep streaming when she's at work. I'm trying to find a happy medium in my time slots when I'm off work, but so are most other people. We will take suggestions, though, if there's a time that works better for people. I like Wednesday because it's central in the week. Nobody's going to or coming from something usually on Wednesdays, so you're usually settled in midweek like this to whatever schedule you're going to be on. But yeah, if there's a better time or a better day, I'm fairly open. I'd like to get more people to watch. Let's see. Oh, hi Candace. Yeah, magazine racks, exactly. Where the rotating racks for, yeah, that's how long ago. I haven't watched the stream, or the chat, sorry. I was too busy rambling. I'll jump in. Buffering is, okay, so we're still doing buffering issues. Is it my end or is it your end? Because I know it's killing you on your end, but is it through YouTube that issues are happening? Because I do have a buffer built into mine, so I shouldn't be too laggy. And I still haven't watched any of my streams, which I should do. Get at least a couple views on there. So I should go back and watch and see if I'm laggy or if it's laggy or if it's just somebody else's connection. But keeps telling you the live stream is offline. It is not. It is going. I'll try to get a link. I'll put a link to my YouTube on my posts from now on, so at least you can be on my page and just hit refresh or whatever. Just refresh the page and it should be the stream going on. YouTube thing from what you're reading. Okay, so yeah, they have issues. Season 2 wasn't that good. Yeah, you're talking about Jessica Jones. It was not. Again, we all went in wanting to love it because there were pictures of David Tennant. I mean, they're bringing back the Purple Man. Hell yes, it's gonna be great. I want to see it. I want to watch it. But that's what it did. They retold season 1's story with a different subject for Jessica to obsess over, but it was the same story, and they gave it a different result, and then they just ended it, and it was really weird and very confusing and just insulting to your intelligence. They had side stories going on that did not matter, and you would think they would matter eventually, or they would come to a conclusion, or you would reach a point with them because they'd wasted so many episodes focusing on not Jessica. They don't. It's terrible and very disappointing, and I didn't like it, and I wanted to really bad. I had very, very high hopes for it, and they didn't even meet low hopes. It was just a season. They released their 12, 13, whatever it is, episodes, and that's all they accomplished with those hours of my life. It wasn't good. It really wasn't. Basketball season's over. Oh, cool. Yeah, she works at the local. It used to be Harco Arena, and then something. It was down by the airport.
Golden One.
And now it's the Golden One Center downtown, where they pipe in nature sounds. Have a listen next time you're down there. You go to the Golden One Center. Yeah, you'll just be standing there, and you'll hear birds chirping in the dead of night. It's very weird.
Why?
Because nature. I don't know. Ask the city who spent the money on finding bird sounds to pipe in to people standing in lines. But it's there. And nowadays, yeah, the Golden One Center is downtown now, which centralizes it, but if you've ever tried to park in downtown Sacramento, you realize what a bad idea this was. Center is beautiful. Nothing against that. They made a gorgeous, gorgeous arena. Seating arrangements and configurations for any type of event. The venue itself is gorgeous. The location is less than ideal. But anyway, so it's bats at night. Oh, yeah, those are actual animals. There are bats downtown. If you ever have a chance, between some of the older buildings, mostly the brick buildings.
They're super cute.
Yeah, you see little babies chirping around, and it's really cute. Those are the real sounds. There are just birds chirping, and they have speakers in the planter boxes putting out animal sounds. It's weird. But do look for the actual wildlife, because at night, like I said, they got bats. It's cool. It's really cool. But that's our little town now, Sacramento. It's what we have. Go Kings. Sorry. I was raised in a Chicago family, so Bears, Bulls, Blackhawks, Cubs. 108 years, we finally got it. If you don't know, you don't care. But someone out there got it. Thanks, buddy. So, yeah, I think that's most of my rant. All the problems I have with the world right now. Yeah, the bad writing trend, and the first thing I wrote. Sorry, jumped right into Infinity War because that's the big thing this week anyway. Is everyone's going to see Infinity War? You are. If not this weekend, you'll go with your friends eventually. It's like, I don't know, it's like Titanic. Even if you hated it, someone dragged you ass to it. You're gonna go see Infinity War. And, excuse me, what was it like? It was like Justice League. Justice League was not bad. It was not a comic book movie. It was a terrible comic book movie because it had nothing to do with any of the characters. Horrible for that. As an action movie, it was great. I laughed. I enjoyed myself because I'm not that attached to DC, especially anymore. My dad was a huge Superman fan, so when the Chris Reeve ones came out, he owned them all. I mean, we watched the Chris Reeve Superman because that was his favorite character, so we watched Superman. But DC let him fall, and they let all the characters fall, and they keep changing them and changing universes and new 52s and crises and new crises and revisited crises and I don't know, conflagrations and fights and rebirths, and they don't know what they want to write, so that's how the comics look. It's like someone who doesn't know what they're writing. But the movie itself wasn't bad. It was very entertaining. It had good characters, just not the Flash and Wonder Woman and Batman and Superman. They had nothing to do with those characters. They had some of their powers and their names, but it's just someone taking the license, buying that, and then writing their own movie about it. Which, again, if you're not invested emotionally in the characters, you're okay with. Guardians of the Galaxy was so popular because no one knew who the Guardians were. No one read those comics. They were not Marvel's bestsellers. And so if you don't know how, Drax talks and where Gamora came from, and then you're fine with those, because you don't know what's wrong. If you don't know what's wrong with it, you can just watch it as it is, and it's a great movie. It's a lot of fun. It's very entertaining. Like Justice League, it was a very entertaining movie, and actually much more coherent than Batman v Superman. So I was much happier with it, and I could just shut off the part of my brain that said, "Who the hell is it? Flash doesn't do that," and just watch it and say, "That's cool." It was a good movie. But the poorly written movies, or poorly directed, or I don't know, poorly produced, is what it is, because the producer is ultimately responsible for producing it. I mean, you released this, you hired the directors, hired the writers, and let them make this piece of crap, and then gave it to the public and charged them money for it, so it is your fault. A poorly produced work is just rude. It's not just disappointing, but it's mean to make me watch something that has so much promise and so much potential, and you're setting me up from the first season or the first characters, or from your release of it, you're selling it to me, and you're telling me it's good when it's just not. It's just, I don't know, it's a bad thing. Superman's CG lips, I didn't notice that. I'm very excited to look for that now. Superman CGI lips. Yeah, I did. What part has Superman CGI lips? I actually rewatched that movie just to see that, and for the fight scene against the whole Justice League, because that was the best scene in the whole movie, was when Superman looks at Flash and surprises him because he can look at him. Knowing nothing else about the movie or the characters, that was a well shot scene. Flash's reaction was perfect, priceless, beautiful. So I'll look for his lips. Jenny, you can always just jump back and catch up later when we stop streaming. You'll get all caught up. It's still a video. It'll be on YouTube forever. So yeah, if you guys are having connection issues, or if I'm having connection issues and it jumps, it's still being recorded and uploaded to YouTube, so it's available. You can rewatch it and catch back up. It'll just be harder to keep up in the live stream, so sorry about that, but we're about to wrap up anyway. I did want to mention that I just had an email from, or not an email, it's through Facebook. Best way to contact me, by the way, I'm very slow at everything, but Facebook will be the first thing I check. So if you have questions or concerns, or you want to ask me anything or request me to do something, that's your fault. I can best be reached through Facebook. So hit me up there, Tenant Cosplay Facebook. It's real easy. But In Search of Cosplay does a charity calendar, and they talk to me. I actually talked to them because they had nerdy stuff set up. They had Doctor Who stuff set up. Or no, they had Star Trek stuff set up. Who's your favorite captain? So you put your donation in, whatever it is, $1, $10, $100, they don't care. Just put in your donation into that captain's cup. They have a little jar set up with a little coin slot at the top. Slide in your donation, and that's a vote for that captain. So whoever collects the most at the end is the best captain. A lot of fun. Sucked me in. I liked it. But I started talking to them, and because I gave them like $5 or something like that. I think I had 10 in my wallet, so I gave them that. Because I gave them money, over, I think it was over $5. And they gave me a calendar. I think $5 was a calendar. And I don't know. Anyway, because of what I donated, they gave me a calendar, and we started talking about it. And they get cosplayers, just non-professional, just regular folks walk around con who have free time to come out and do a photo shoot, and they make a charity calendar. And I'll have more information about that when they get back to me, but I should be in it. They seemed excited to have me in it. So we're going to be shooting, I think June is what he said. We're working on dates now. Like I said, this was the first email we had, first contact I've had since Grape City Con. I think it was Grape City. So we'll get some updates on that. He should be getting back to me this week, so we'll have more for the next week's stream. So yeah, if I don't remember, you guys get on me, remind me, I'll get on it, and I will do it. Katie's jealous I got to meet David Tennant. Yes, I did, twice. Here, I'll just show you guys the wall here, take you around trying to make everybody sick. There we go. I finally got to post all of the art and crap that I get from cons that I save and I love, but I never had a place for. I finally put it up. So there it is. That one being my pride and joy. Because Thanos. And there's the calendar. Not, of course, the one I'm going to be in, because I haven't done the photo shoot yet, but that's it. And then they get, sponsors from comic shops and just anybody, really. So hit me up if you guys want more information, or if you want to be sponsored for it. They would love the help. And yeah, and they would love to sell some more calendars, because, like I said, it's charity. But yeah, all kinds of little fun stuff I get at cons. Both of these are from fans at cons. Just artists who were there who liked artists, so they gave me stuff. That was really cool. But yeah, there's Michael Rooker. There's me meeting David Tennant the second time, and there's the first time. Bam. Very nice guy. Very, very narrow. But yeah, there's the look around. I'll try to put this back on straight now. It's going to screw up my stream for a while. Oh well, we'll figure it out. But yeah, I did get to meet David Tennant, and it was tons of fun. If you ever get a chance, definitely do it. Nice guy. And he seems to enjoy it. He's having a good time, so go say hi. Be nice, be polite. We want to keep coming around. He was trying to grab my glasses. I'm sorry. Here you go, buddy. Right? They're reflective. Colors in motion. They're awesome. So yeah, there's the baby entertainment section of our program. And that'll do it. That's all I have if they're entertained adults and children alike. Thanks for watching. Good having you on. We will see you next week. Same time, because everyone seems to be okay with it. If you want to change, just leave comments or suggestions or questions. We'd love to have questions. We'd love to answer questions. We've been cosplaying for many years. So if you want to know about any con in California, I've probably been to it. And RTX, she's the pro. But or cosplay, or crafting materials, wigs, I don't know, life in general. I mean, if you want a good beer recommendation, I'm here for you. I've been doing a lot of life my whole life, so if you want to know how I do, what I do, where I do, go ahead and throw down a little question. And don't have to like, subscribe, share. I don't care about that. But I do want to know that you're out there and you are listening. And if you want to talk to me, I want to talk back. So feel free to jump in. But that'll do our stream for now. And great talking with you all. We will see you on the very next one.